Good morning, and thank you so much for tuning in. Today we are shooting this video with the iPhone 6 Plus, which is amazing now that you can have a phone that doubles as a video camera. Great technology. Our question today involves one of my favorite topics, what to do when the car that you've bought on eBay doesn't turn out to be as you expected it to be. And so the specific car that we're dealing with is a 1975 280S, which is a W116 chassis, and it was bought by its new owner sight unseen for $2,500. And when it showed up, it had a few needs. So the first thing is, if you want to sue an eBay seller for selling you a bad car, unfortunately, if the car's $5,000 or less, very frequently you're going to lose all your money in litigation. So you might as well just keep the car and figure out what you can do with it. So this video is directed specifically at inexpensive cars and not so much at expensive ones. Second, before you look at the bad parts of the car, you've got to equally assess the bad parts and the good parts. I like to make a chart. And on one side it's going to say strengths, and the other side it's going to say weaknesses. Now on this 280S, I looked the car over, and even though the paint wasn't so great, it was the original paint, which means nobody's tried to take it apart and paint it before. And also, we found out that it spent most of its life in Bakersfield, California, which is very dry. So while this might wreak havoc on some stuff like the dashboard and the seats and the windows and stuff like that, we figured out very quickly that the car had absolutely no rust anywhere. We looked throughout the entire car and it was bone dry, and very often you never get that sort of integrity with the W116 car, because the metal that they made them out of was subpar compared to the stuff that was used in the earlier 70s. When we looked the car over, we did find it had some dings and dents, but again, it had no signs of an accident. So that's one weakness, that it's been baked by the sun and that obviously all the rubber seals are bad, but those are two pluses, that is no rust and it's a car that's free of serious accidents. Now, one of the biggest issues with this car was that it had an odometer in it that said 34,000 miles. I can't stress to you enough that even if a Mercedes has a 6-digit odometer, don't look at the odometer to determine whether it's a low mileage car. Look at the condition of the car. Mercedes odometers have a history of breaking. We're probably going to cover odometers in another video. And you should always check the condition of the car first. Now, another thing that is always a good idea is driving the car. We drove this car, it had very poor brakes, very poor suspension, but the engine didn't smoke, it didn't overheat, and it shifted well. So try to get a grasp on the car's mechanicals too, and figure out if its engine and transmission are healthy. Even if the interior doesn't present so well in this car, I'd consider the solid body, the good engine and transmission, and the fact it's never been in an accident or had rust before to be a major plus. So my friends who bought this car actually scored a win, even if it wasn't a 34,000 mile car. Feel free to send us these kinds of questions. Enjoy driving your Mercedes-Benz and using your iPhone, and have a great day.